Stan Gibilisco here, from a space station orbiting a planet that looks an awful lot like Earth, but has 2 moons, as you can clearly see. Probably sometime in the future, but who knows? Maybe it was long, long ago, on some planet far, far away, both in time and in space. Well, my mind is kind of far, far away in time and in space right now, and so is my body, because of a substance known as a benzodiazepine. A benzodiazepine is a tranquilizer drug that I was prescribed because I was having sort of an agitation problem, a syndrome like restless leg syndrome, except all over your whole body. I won't get into the all of my little old man symptoms here, but what I'd like to show you is a page that my doctor's assistant today gave me that I think is extremely interesting. Benzo.org.uk. Now, if you go to that site, and I will provide a link to it on this on the description part of this video, then you will come across this page. And what he recommended I do was to look at the Ashton Manual, benzodiazepines, how they work and how to withdraw. Now, if you don't know what benzodiazepines are, consider yourself blessed beyond your wildest imagination. But if you do, chances are you're addicted to one of them. Examples include drugs known as diazepam, clonazepam, lorazepam, Librium, that's the trade name, also known as chlordiazepoxide. And right now, what my doctor started me out on was known as lorazepam. And it has a short half-life, and he said, well, it'll be easier to withdraw from that if you switch to clonazepam. Well, I'm having a devil of a time withdrawing from that. So he said I ought to switch to, oh, what the heck kind of Pam is it? Diazepam. Also goes by the trade name of Valium, which has an even longer half-life and longer time to get out of the body. For some reason, it's supposedly easier to withdraw from that. Now, if you are familiar, if you know what I'm talking about, then consider yourself cursed beyond your wildest imagination, because you probably don't need to be on those drugs, but somehow the pharmaceutical industrial racket in the United States of advertising, the United States of addiction, got to you. And now you are. And I'll bet an awful lot more of you than will admit it are addicted to this stuff. Now, I haven't been on it very long, and I'm not taking that high a dose. So chances are I'll be able to get off of it fairly easily. Now, notice how small the print is in this page. If you can read this, then you are lucky, because you have a 1080p display that's 1920 pixels wide. That is the full high-resolution, high-definition capability of this video. But go to the page that I just showed you, benzo.org.uk, or better yet, I'll provide a link right to this manual right here. And in order to facilitate that, I'll just copy it here so I can put it on the video itself, and you can just click on it, and here you will be. If you have trouble, read this stuff. The benzodiazepines, what they do in the body, tells you all about them. All about them. Half-life in hours. Well, right now I'm on something called diazepam, also known as Valium. Half-life of 20 to 100 hours. Well, before that I was on clonazepam, half-life of only 18 to 50 hours. Shorter half-life means it gets out of your body quicker, but it also means that you'll get more severe withdrawal symptoms sooner. Clobazam, well, that's not what I was not having a problem with that. I didn't take that. It was lorazepam, only 10 to 20 hours. Very quick acting benzodiazepine. And then there's others, all kinds of benzodiazepines and similar drugs. These are all intended to relieve the symptoms of anxiety, depression, and all kinds of other related things. And they do, to a certain extent, work. And they can also have a rebound or opposite effect in some people, where they actually make them more anxious and more agitated. A lot of drugs do exactly the opposite of what they are supposed to do, depending upon what kind of metabolism you have, and your metabolism will change as you age. Beware, if you took diazepam when you were 30, don't expect the same result now if you're 60 as you did when you were 30. So that's what the doctor had me try, and it didn't seem to do anything to me at all. So I'm still stuck with this stuff known as clonazepam, short half-life like that. But I'll keep trying, and I'll get off this stuff. I never needed to be on it in the first place, and if I knew how dangerous these benzodiazepine drugs actually are, I never would have started on any of it. How to withdraw from benzodiazepines. You have to do it very, very slowly. Very, very slowly. It's a lot like alcohol withdrawal, except they say in some ways worse. Here's what kind of symptoms you can expect. How to deal with them. Benzodiazepine withdrawal symptoms: excitability, insomnia, increased anxiety and panic attacks, agoraphobia, I'm not sure what the heck that is, perceptual distortions, depersonalization, I guess that means like astral projection on a small scale, hallucinations, misperceptions, or otherwise known as illusions, depressions, obsessions, physical symptoms, tremor, muscle twitches, tinnitus, ringing in the ears. I already have that. Appetite and weight change, skin rashes, fits, oh my, oh my, oh my, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, pain, distension, difficulty swallowing. Oh, doesn't that sound like heaven on earth? Ha ha. I have some property for sale in the Dakota Territory of the United States of Aquamarine Domination. Right here. You can buy it for free. In fact, I wish you'd take it off my hands. I'm getting tired of living on the waterfront in the Dakota Territory. As you can see, I'm sort of yammering. And part of the reason I'm yammering is because I'm taking this bloody clonazepam. Clonazepam. Well, it's also just because I'm like that to begin with. But what I want you to understand here is that chances are very good that if you're watching this video, and if you're still watching it after 9.5 minutes, you are addicted to one of these awful, awful drugs that should be banned, that make things like marijuana, otherwise known as weed, make those things seem benign by comparison, and yet these things are legal, and you can go to jail for smoking a certain weed that might grow in your backyard. Perverted world we live in. But I wonder about the world shown here. Was this world down here as perverted as ours? Or will it be? Or is it? Only God knows, and God ain't saying. Stan Gibilisco signing off. Until next time, God bless all you fellow addicts. Stay with it. Get off the stuff. It can be done. So long.